Hello, this is the Breast Love 1, Healer 209 here on YouTube. I want to do a storyline reading on a young man who died in police custody 2019. If I had the date right, I'm going to look again. But he was 23 years old. He died inside of the cruiser. He was taken in for whatever he was taken in for. And he said he couldn't breathe. And one officer was doing CPR on him, and I really respect that officer who was doing, I don't know, was it an ambulance person or an officer, whichever one it was. I thought it was an officer though, but I would have to look again at the video. Whichever one it was, the paramedic or officer, whichever one. I just thought it was officer, but whichever one it was, I respect that person and thank that person for putting all that person could in to try to save this young man's life, because his life was worth living. Even though he did something that got him in trouble, he still deserved to live. Now, this storyline, I want to do the storyline reading. And my focus was a whole lot of why he died, actually, right, to come in a reading. But maybe he put something in his mouth some kind of way. Or if he didn't do anything like that, maybe he just had some kind of health problem already. Or it might have been, because it had to be something, because he was outside at first running, right? So, or some kind of way, the films or something like that, or as far as like being enclosed inside that cruiser in the back, whatever, odors or whatever he had to inhale back there caused it, his breathing, something did something, okay? It's not just he just died just like that, he was outside running. So no, something caused his death, right? So the thing is, he was saying what he was saying. He couldn't breathe. And the officer was just so nonchalant. They so used to just treating people like they used to treating people. You're a criminal. So if you say anything about you not feeling well or whatever, they really just don't give a. And one thing that get on my nerves is when I hear about heartless people in whichever uniform they in, from the doctor, the nurse, the paramedic, the police officer, the teacher, whoever they are, right? But I know when it comes down to policemen, they have to be a certain kind of way when it comes down to arresting people. I understand that. But if somebody's sick or something like that, your duty is to make sure that they are safe, that they get to where they're supposed to get to safely. If their health is at risk, it's up to you to make sure that they get the help they need, the medical care. And that police woman who was transporting him, she was crap. The more I heard that lady talk upstairs when I saw this today, it got on my nerves. She's so busy talking about charges and this and that. So what? Whatever charges he had, do that mean that he don't supposed to live because he got charges? She's so busy trying to paint him out what all he done and all this kind of stuff. He laying over there probably not alive then, and she want to just beat him down still. Oh, you can get some water when we get to the station. She might have had an extra bottle of water right inside her a cruiser up front. She might did. That she could have gave him. But did she? No. She might didn't, but she might did. And if she did, she ain't give it to him. Because she feel like she not going to be bowing down to him. He said he couldn't breathe. She saw he was acting a certain way. She should have just called the ambulance right away. I feel she delayed it some kind of way before she called. She probably called when she saw he fainted or whatever, or he was laying down. That's probably when she did the calling. I just want people to stop being so, it's not careless, right? That's not the word. I want people to stop being like they be. Because it's ridiculous. I don't care nothing about you arresting somebody. If somebody have a medical emergency, it's your job to get them where they have to get at safely. CPR being done on him and he got darn handcuffs on. Take the darn handcuffs off. So you so stuck in the ways you stuck in where he a criminal, so we can't take the handcuffs off. The more I saw that person trying to do CPR with that guy with handcuffs on, I thought that was ridiculous. You still got handcuffs on him. Take the darn handcuffs off so his hands could lay flat. You don't even know if by his hands being cupped back there, if that interfered with blood flowing or what. You don't even know. That's all you know. You had his hands behind his back and it could have made a difference. You have no idea if his hands was out. And then eventually somebody had common sense to take the cuffs off. Somebody in that crowd. Everybody standing around looking crazy and running off at the mouth talking. And then some feeling and sounding a little fearful because I guess you got a person who died in your custody because it's some questions that need to be answered. And that lady, whoever she was who was driving, that one right there, she is the one that my focus was on because she wanted to just beat him down as far as talking about charges and he this and he that and he did this and he stole that or whatever. The person laying there not alive. Nobody needs you to be beating them down when they're not alive. Or they fighting for their life. How about having some kind of compassion? Oh yeah, that's right. They don't teach you that in the police academy. No kind of way to have compassion. Right? Okay, so let me just start. Hate when people mistreat people. I really hate that. People be into their job so much where they don't be human about things. Be human about things. The man laying there lifeless or almost lifeless and you still acting crazy. Take the cuffs off of him. Try to save his life. Really try to save his life. That's why the only one in that group of people that's on that video that I give some kind of praise to is that person who was doing the CPR. I don't know if it was an officer or a paramedic, that person there, out of the whole group of them people. And God gonna bless that person, whoever that person was. God gonna bless that person if the person already was not blessed. Because that person sincerely tried to save his life. And he kept it up as long as he could. And that's what you're supposed to do. Not sit around and keep complaining about the person stole this or stole that or whatever that lady was talking about. She had no kind of compassion for that young man's life whatsoever. Before the ambulance came and after. So let me stop. I'm going to get up and I'll be right back to do this storyline to find out. So I feel that she hesitated and I feel like she didn't call the ambulance right away like she should have. He said he couldn't breathe. She went up there, went driving somewhere and left him back there. And then when she came back, eventually when she got to the station or wherever she got at, she decided to come back there to get him out. And then she panicked then. Oh, let me call somebody now. When she should have called somebody when he first said that he wasn't feeling good. Where they could have came there and they might could have put a breathing thing on him or whatever. So she was negligent. Enough is enough. You don't get to say a person's life ain't nothing because they're a criminal or because you feel they're a criminal. Everybody's life is special. Everybody deserves to live. I don't care if they stole 60 cars. They deserve to live. Getting locked up is one thing. Dying is another. It's your duty to keep them safe. Traveling to that jail. Because you put them in there. He didn't put himself in there. You did it. By force. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna turn it around. Let's turn the chair around. I'm the Rest Love One Healer Tarot 9 here on YouTube. This storyline reading is about a young man, Darren Boykin, who was 23 years old, who died 2019 after an arrest. The video is on YouTube. I just saw it when I was upstairs and it bothered me. What bothered me about it was the non-concern for his life by the police officer who was transporting him, a police woman, right? He was telling her that he couldn't breathe or his feeling, however, and she's saying wait until we get to the station. She'll give him water and all this type of stuff. But she just kept on driving, and then when she eventually got where she wanted to get it and she came back to check him, that's when he was in the condition he was in. But she should have called for help when he first said what he was saying. But she didn't. Because they want to treat you like, oh, you ain't nobody. You know, just because somebody get arrested, they are somebody. Newsflash. They are somebody. So you feel like, well, oh, you ain't nobody. And that's how it seemed like this lady treated him. And then when she came back there and she saw that he was like he was, then she panicked and decided to call medical help when she should have did it when he first said what he said. Because it could have changed everything and saved his life. So I give praise and I give respect to that person who was doing CPR. That was an officer, let me see, officer or paramedic, whichever person that was. One person out of that bunch. And it would be that man who was doing CPR. Like I said, I don't know which one it was. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking at what can I see on here? It says that okay, it says his autopsy showed that he had sickle cell trait and the physical exhaustion of him running led to his death. That's what they're saying. Okay. And all that with the breathing, because the blood, the life is the blood. Your life is in your blood. The blood is the life. Blood is your life. Blood. Your heart need blood. The blood is the lifeline. Okay, let's just see. I didn't like that though, of how he was treated. Not by the paramedic or whoever that person was, but by that lady. When he said he couldn't breathe before he even got that bad, when he said anything like that, she should have called then, but she didn't. She went back up front to drive her car, and that's what she did until she got to wherever she got at. And then she decided to come out to get him out or whatever, and that's when she panicked. His pleas for help was ignored. And that's so true. She telling him he got to get all the way to the police station to get a bottle of water, some water, and she probably had an extra bottle right there in the front. You're not driving a car and you don't have no water. Oh no, you're not going to be driving no car all day and you don't have no water in the car, more than one bottle. So let me just do the storyline reading on Mr. Even though it's saying sickle cell, so at least we finding out something here, because he was fine outside and all of a sudden this happens. I just don't like how he was treated as far as that officer, that lady there. The neglect of her. The one that... Okay, let me just find a picture. I don't really have a picture. This is a... I don't really like this picture, because this picture right here is him in distress. So I really don't like him having a picture of him in distress, but I don't see a regular picture. He in distress right here, but I gotta show you this to even just show a picture of him. He in distress right here. So, yeah, he in distress. So it's Texas. He was 23 years old. 2019, was in custody. I don't want to hear a whole lot about no charges and all that kind of stuff and all of that. My thing is, when somebody is in whatever kind of situation they're in, you help them. Not trying to just paint all the negative you can paint about them to cover up some kind of way how and whatever happened as far as them dying. He said he can't breathe. It's on video. I'm glad it was a camera back there to show every detail back there. To show that lady went to the front and finished driving her car after he told her that he wasn't feeling good and all. And he couldn't breathe. She should have called the ambulance then, but she did not. She went back, finished driving, or wherever she went at, however long it took her, then she decided to get out. And then that's when she felt like her tail on the line. She wasn't so much worried about him as a person. Her hide was on the line. Get what I just said? Because she has to explain what happened. Like I hate when people be heartless. And it's heartless to me. I hate when people be heartless. Because she is heartless. Okay? I know being a police officer, you gotta be strong and all that. I understand that. But if somebody's sick, they sick. You need to get the care they need and stop acting like they nobody. They not a piece of garbage. They are a human being like you are. Remember that. So let's just see. What is this jumping out? She had a date. Can't know about her having no date. Maybe she had a date. Was this at night? No, that was daytime, right? Okay, what do you say? Okay, let's see something. What do you say? Maybe she had a date. Let me see something. These cards is what I grabbed, or should I take these cards? She needs to stamp her name on him to have money in the bank. That means she needs to take him in to get her paycheck. She felt like a genius taking him in to get her paycheck. Get what I just said? She wanted to get to the melting pot. She wanted him to come on, get herself together, get in that car. Follow me? She moved fast on it, and she got him in the car. Okay? She sprung into her life mission, and that's being an officer, like a Leo, or took action like a fire sign. Whatever day, it don't have to be a Saturday. Okay? This is a romantic card, but I'm going to turn it around for the storyline. Mr. Boykin needed care. This is a romantic card, but I'm going to turn it for the storyline. He needed care. Get my drift. He needed medical help. Get my drift. Mr. Boykin needed her, this police officer, female, to desire him, to care for him, to get help. Get what I'm saying? I got to turn the card around for this storyline. She need not waste time, but she felt like she wasn't going to waste her time. Follow me? So we had this one. So let me see with this one. I'm going to turn it around. She might have had some date, something planned out. And the only thing I can see she probably had planned out was just taking him to the police station. So we got the candlelight, and the candle usually go with putting out of, express over candlelight. So I'm going to turn it around for this storyline. She was expressing over Mr. Boykin because his candle got put out. His light got put out. Get what I'm saying? I'm going to change it just for this, right? This is a romantic card, but I got to turn it. She's going to express over Mr. Boykin because he's laying on the ground, lifeless. His candle went out. His light went out. Get what I'm saying, right? And she is going to explain something conventional. So really, we're not going to say conventional, but as far as her police station, she have to go to them and explain everything like they do a report or whatever they be doing when they got to get the story together and take it in. So I had to turn it all around because I couldn't put them back. Okay, let's flow. Universe, give me some cards for Mr. Boykin, but not really. I already know now he had a sickle cell problem, so we know that part. So really, we don't need to know a whole lot as far as Mr. Boykin, okay, because of that right there. So this officer here who felt like she didn't need to get him no help right away when he asked for help. So why did, well, I already know why. She just felt like she didn't want to, I guess. She might have felt like he was joking around, because some people might tell lies and joke around. But everybody is not like that. And people got to stop putting people in the same box. Because I got a problem with not all paramedics, but some of them. The ones I had anyway that came to my house anytime. It always used to be one out of the bunch that was the nicest and the kindest and the carest. The other ones was hitting on nothing. Because they already got some preconceived notion or thoughts about you. You on drugs. You're a black person. You on drugs. You're a drunk. You got HIV or whatever they thinking about you. Or you poor, whatever their minds be thinking. When they come, they got stinking attitudes. Who needs you coming to their house to help them if you got a stinking attitude? Don't come to mine. I don't need you. I take my chances. God got me. Get out the medical field if you're not going to treat everybody equal. You're not going to treat everybody with care. If you're not going to really put the love in you should to save somebody's life. So that's why I say whoever this was with Mr. Boykin, police officer or paramedic, whoever that was on top of him doing CPR, I commend that person because that person put his all in to try to save his life. And that's the only one on that scene that I give praise to, whoever that man was right there. God going to bless him. If you haven't got his blessing so far, I'm letting you know God going to bless you. Because God saw that you was trying to save Mr. Boykin. You was the only one there that was trying to save Mr. Boykin, actually. Because your hands was on Mr. Boykin, as far as I can see. I don't know about anybody else's. You put your all in to save him. God seen that. So let's just do a storyline reading as far as this whole situation, period. This officer and why she was like she was. Nonchalant about his medical condition. About him breathing. Oh, well, it don't really matter. He just lying or whatever she thought like. Or if he can't breathe, she didn't care. Until her heart was at stake. And that is, once she went back there to see and he wasn't alive, she got an answer for that. Somebody want to know what happened. She got an answer to that. Well, what happened? That scared her then. Then she decided to call. Newsflash, miss, you should have been called when he told you. It's on tape. We all see it. You should have been called when he told you whatever he told you from the beginning. I can't breathe. You know what that means? That means your breath can go away any second, but you didn't give her. You went back to do your driving. You had a mission to take him to the police station, dead or alive. And that was your plan, getting them there. You didn't care. And what you did was you took him to the police station, dead or alive. And that's what you did, because when you went back there, he probably was not alive. You pulling him out trying to save your hide because you're determined you want to get him there. You don't want no interruptions. You ain't going back to check no more or whatever your neglect was. I didn't like that video. That's why I'm talking like I'm talking. I didn't like it. Because I thought that was terrible along with a whole lot of other ones. But I'm so glad it was recorded to see how you was. Okay, universe, give me a storyline reading as far as this officer who neglected Mr. Boykin, who felt like he didn't deserve to breathe. He didn't deserve any water. He didn't deserve to breathe. He didn't deserve to live. And she just wanted to talk about all the charges he had while he laying dying or dead on the ground. She just wanted to talk about his charges and beat him down more. His life gone, but you want to beat him down more. Because your mission is to justify, well, he ain't nobody. Well, he was doing this and he was doing that. He ain't nobody. To make people not even have no kind of feelings about he died, or just to take away that your negligence. So let's just flow. Okay, universe, give me something. I got a picture of a daddy and a son right here. So his daddy loved his son. I got a picture of a daddy and a son right here. It was painted. I feel like him and his daddy was close. We love his daddy. Yeah, I'm looking at the daddy and some picture up there. But let me give me something more for this lady, this officer who was heartless. Up in here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this card. This what Mr. Boykin lost his cushions. He lost his life in minutes, didn't he? We saw that. We got right here. Mr. Boykin wanted her to spend some time to help him. She wanted to know the back end. Well, what do you want? This and that, or whatever she was saying to him, right? She is saying different things to him. But Mr. Boykin wanted some kind of help. Spend some time, get me help or whatever. Because he knew the back end. He dying or whatever he is feeling like. Look at this. It was time for her to act. He wanted her to promise me you're going to act. You're going to help me. But this is a carbon copy, right, of an Esha. So for her, maybe she went with, because she went back there 2 times. The first time, or whenever that was, when we saw her. But then she went another time, evidently, because she said she went back there and he wasn't responsive. So she looking at it as an S show. Get what I'm saying? This carbon copy. I'm going back here again because he was making noise probably. He might have been making noise, saying help or whatever. So she went back there the second time, I guess. Might have been 3 times, but he was a caterpillar. And he wanted to bend forward on things. He was being appreciative of a home that was sufficient. So at that point, he was inside this cruiser and he was being appreciative of a place that was sufficient, but he needed help. Follow me? But right then, he needed to get on his path, but he couldn't. His path would have been the hospital, but he couldn't do it because he needed somebody to help him, and that would be that officer. But she was what? Delaying, stalling, and putting off the things. She is trying to insult his intelligence. He's saying that he don't feel well and whatever he's saying, but she didn't care. So what did she do? Well, put him in a box. Because when it's all over with, I blame her for not getting the help sooner. But also, she had him in a box. He was inside a police cruiser. Right? So she had him boxed in. But then she has taken him to jail, and he was going to be in the jail, and that's a box also, a cell. But then he wound up being in a box. Get my drift. Where he's going to be in a room. That is a funeral parlor or a church, right? Let's just flow. And look at this one right here. She looked at him as the sewer. Get what I'm saying? Negative. Criminals. They got a thoughts to criminals. They think a certain way about criminals. You got people who not officers think a certain way about criminals, and they not even an officer. Get what I'm saying? When she didn't get him the help, it was good as her putting him in a sewer. Get what I just said? You nobody. He wanted her to mend it. He wanted her to help him mend it. Help me get back to health. Anything like that. Look at this. Look at it. Look at the car. God got this thing. Look at the car. He was in a cruiser. There's a Cadillac. Forget what it say on the cars because everything is examples. God didn't want him in that car. But he got put in that car. Get my drift. God didn't want him in this car because anything in this car was bad news. And wasn't it bad news? Wasn't it bad news? Don't we see it on tape that that was bad news? He got put in there and it was bad news. Everything connected to that car was bad news. That police officer who was in charge was bad news. She didn't give him the help he needed. Being in that car was bad news. This is a bad news car. Anybody in it in the car in general was bad news. This is a cop car. Going off this card, and this storyline is a cop car because she was in it. And he was in it, right? He was going to jail, but still all of it is bad news. Yelling, fussing, complaining. So he was yelling, probably help or whatever. Anything like that. I don't think he is complaining because he's saying he didn't feel good or whatever. Someone is in competition. So it's competition because she was going back and forth saying whatever to him. Whatever she was saying. She wasn't fussing with him, we know. But she is saying something. So it's like competition. He trying to get his way. But she not hearing it and she don't want to hear it. So we're going to turn this card around. You see what it say on here. But forget this card. You see what that says? Forget that. Because when people get raped, they stolen from. So I use this for theft. So let me just say what I'm going to say. He was trying to seek help, right? He was trying to get along, right? So his life wouldn't be stolen, right? Because I got to turn it around. He was trying to find his uniqueness back there in that cruiser. But he's dealing with somebody power play, and that would be the cop, right? Trying to pan out the court life of how long he going to be in that car. How long he was going to have his life because his breath was slipping away. Okay, let's flow. Here's a seamstress card again. He wanted it to be where she joined together with him to help him. Right? Because it's a seamstress card when you bring something together and mend it. Bring his health back. But she looked at him this way. The sewer. You useless. You scum, you don't deserve, or whatever her mind was thinking like. She looked at him as having cheating ways because she felt like he stole or whatever she had him for. I don't really know. And whatever she saw on his record or whatever. So she was looking at him a certain kind of way. He had cheating ways or whatever kind of ways she thought. And she wasn't going to settle for less, so she wasn't going to keep on talking to him about anything because she really wasn't giving up. She wasn't going to bow down to him. What all he was saying. She wasn't bowing down to that. She said her little words or whatever she said whenever, and that was it. She wasn't bowing down to him because remember, she up here and he's supposed to be down here. Remember what I just told you, right? Because he's not, he a criminal as far as she's concerned. She wasn't bowing down to him. What he wanted and what he needed, she really didn't give her. But she was treating him like an animal. Look what God's saying. Controlling, dominating. She wasn't fighting him, but controlling, dominating, wanting him to be submissive. Not giving him, providing his needs. Where it's going to leave his family missing their child. Get what I'm saying? Because that's what it left for his family when it's all over with. Okay, let's just flow. I don't like when people heartless. I don't like when people heartless. have a heart. There's a heart beating in your body, but had a devil's heart. I know policemen cannot be real soft. I already know that. I know that. But when somebody's sick, they sick. You need to get them the help they need. Here she is again. She wasn't going to bow down to his needs. She treated him like that, like an animal. Like I said, controlling, dominating, because she a cop. So they got to be a certain kind of way. Dominant. Get what I'm saying? They got to be a certain kind of way. He is what you call lower than, because he's a criminal as far as she concerned. Here she is. Do I turn it around? Because this really is his card. She tried to have this card means that the person wants you to do something to disrespect yourself, right? He was in the wonderland of the lost souls. So the policeman is the wonderland of the lost souls. But if I turn it around, she looked at him as the wonderland of the lost souls, a criminal, right? And she wasn't going to disrespect herself by bowing down, like that first card says, to help him and do what he wants. Get what I'm saying? So I got to turn the card around. So we have right here, she was, this is supposed to be, because I'm talking about the policeman, right? Her, right? Let's just see how we got to work this. She wasn't gonna, she was gonna avoid him strip searching her, right? Because I could say he was trying to avoid her strip searching him, but that didn't happen because whatever strip searching or whatever they did happened before he got in that cruiser. So he wasn't trying to avoid anything, right? As far as what he was trying to avoid, I guess, when he was running. So maybe he was running, some kind of way he was running on the video. So he was running. So he was trying to avoid being strip searched, I guess. Yeah, so I guess that's accurate, right? Let me put it right. Okay. But she is trying to avoid also as far as her being real sensitive and soft to him. Because she has power played. Because she's an officer. So she got to be a certain kind of way. He is trying to find his uniqueness. Let's flow. Okay, it left it where his family was going to be missing him, their child. Follow me? Dealing with something creamy. Maybe he liked ice cream. Maybe she liked ice cream. It stopped him from being able to get to his destiny, right? Her negligence, right? Her negligence, because she's negligent. So we have right here work ethics. We dealing with her work ethics. You're calling too much. So I feel like with this situation here that she didn't call. She called whenever she called at the last minute when her heart was on the line. Then she was calling, but she wasn't calling at first. She had to see him laid out and seem like he wasn't alive for her to call. God, I'm going to turn the card around. She wasn't calling. She wasn't calling like she should have. Get what I'm saying? Her work ethics was not good. Okay, so we have right here, she needed to stand up against abuse. Right? She needed to change and chance it off and stand up against abuse because that was abuse and neglect. Because she didn't have good work ethics right there with this situation because she didn't move fast on and try to help Mr. Boykin. Bank on me, check the credit. So her credit would be her paycheck. I'm going to put for her credit, right? That her police department can bank on her, right? When she going to make sure she get her paycheck. Let's put it that way because she wasn't going to give in no kind of way. She looked at Mr. Boykin as having cheating ways because he is a criminal as far as she is concerned. She wasn't selling for less. She wasn't trying to appease him and hear a whole lot of what he needed. She didn't want to hear it because sometimes they think people are lying and sometimes people do be lying. But everybody's not lying. If they say they're not feeling well or whatever's going on, is happening. And some people might say that, right? Trying my best to escape. So right here with Mr. Boykin, he was trying his best to escape this situation. He wasn't trying to, he was trying his best to escape the situation, what he was feeling like, but there's nothing he could do. He wanted to be able to get out and go to the hospital or anything like that or get some help, but he couldn't do anything. But she was trying her best to escape too, that he wasn't feeling good back there. So she is blocking it out and just went on up there and rode her cruiser. But then when she found him not responsive, then she trying to escape as far as not being accused of, making it where she's the cause of his death or anything. He really wanted to express, and he was expressing. But what she needed to do was express and act, right? Morally, we got a guy right here. Morally, I'm going to use this for her because God give men names or certain kind of cards for ladies that act like a man. So she could be feminine and all that kind of stuff, right? She sounds a certain kind of way like she was, but still she doing a man's job. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody say it's not a man's job. It's a man's job. I don't care what you say. Firefighters, it's a man's job, and military is a man's job. We know ladies do it, but it's a man's job. She in a police uniform. That's masculine. So God giving a man name, even though putting a man name on it because it's a masculine job. Get my drift for policeman. Morally, this officer, whatever her name is, she know that she should have helped Mr. Boykin. He didn't get a chance to walk into his destiny because of her neglect, right? Because some kind of way, she had history. If not with him, with criminals, right? Some kind of way. If not with him, if she didn't meet him before, some kind of way, with somebody else that was a criminal. So we got it on YouTube is where I saw this story, the video of Mr. Boykin. So it's on there. I never even heard of this story. So many stories I never even heard of that I be seeing on here. I say, Dad. But they not in my city or my state, but I haven't even heard of them. No kind of way. So we have right here that we're going to put this with Mr. Boykin. Mr. Boykin is searching for a female. And this officer was a female, whatever her name is. So he's searching for her. He not getting up, walking and all, but in his mind he want her to come. So it's going to come out like this. He's searching for her. He want her to come back there, help him, talk to him or whatever. Because she was a female. So we have right here, he's trying to pan out the court like how long he going to be in that truck, how long he going to be breathing, how long the breathing was going to be being like it was or whatever he was trying to figure out. I'm ruined here. Don't let what you seek ruin your life because you can't find it. So Mr. Boykin at this time period, he was trying to seek help, but he couldn't find it because this officer wasn't helping him. Don't let what he seek ruin his life. So what happened was he was seeking help, but it did ruin his life. It ruined his life because he didn't get it, because God said he couldn't find it, and he definitely didn't find it and didn't get it because she didn't help him. Because he trying to get help, hollering or whatever he might have been doing, but she wasn't. He couldn't find it. Get what God's saying, and it did ruin his life because his life was gone. He was trying to seek help because his breath, he was losing his breath. his breath was being stolen. I got to change the card because he said he couldn't breathe. Remember, he is seeking help from this officer up here that God says that he ain't going to be able to get no help. And his life going to be ruined because he's seeking help, but he can't find it because he up here searching for her up here, the first card. He is trying to get along. He wasn't combative or anything like that. We saw the video. He just wanted help. He felt his breath slipping away. He felt a certain kind of way. He is seeking help because his breath was being stolen from him. I got to change the card around, remember. And he was in the bad car. Right? And the car was bad because he couldn't get out of it. He was stuck in it. It was a police car. It's a criminal car. However you want to call it. In this storyline, it's a bad car. In any storyline, this card being the car is a bad car. The person shouldn't get in it because whoever in it is bad news. Get what I'm saying? He is in a cruiser, police cruiser, so it's bad news because that means he was going to jail. But with his situation right there, he was in there and he wasn't even being able to get any help. So it was just bad. He is trying to get help. Talking to her whenever he talked and she talking back, but it wasn't getting him nowhere. Not competition for these two, but just talking. But it's like competition because she wasn't letting him win. Get what I'm saying? After a while, some kind of way, he might have been yelling because I heard him say help or something like that. She is going... She rose to the occasion to beat him at his own game because she felt like probably after a while, she might have felt like he wasn't telling the truth. Well, you'll be all right. You know how sometimes, because people do lie sometimes. We know that. They lie sometimes. Anybody tell lies as far as when they don't want to get in trouble or whatever's going on. Things like that. But this wasn't the time to play with his life, though. He wanted her to promise that she would act. It's time to act. He wanted her to act. But then it got to where she went back there and she saw he wasn't breathing. Then she wanted to beat him at his own game. And she then rose to the occasion to call the ambulance, right? Because now she decided she's going to promise herself, oh, it's time for me to act. But he wanted her to promise, you want to act, you want to get me some help. But she wasn't doing it because it was an SO, a carbon copy of something she did before, she been through before, or she arrested him before, or she arrested somebody before and they were saying they needed help or whatever. Something was a repeat. Consideration for the masses. So she had consideration for the masses. She dealt with a lot of people as far as being a police officer. But he could have been an earth angel person. Let me see something. Yeah, bear with me for a minute. Yeah, he an earth angel person. Here's an earth angel person. Where she is. Let me see. Let's flip a little bit. I gotta see it. I gotta tell which one it is. I gotta keep going now. So it might be her though. I don't know. Let's explore a little bit. Okay, we got food. So some kind of way, try me if you dare. So instead of saying the threat, try me if you dare, she might have thought in her mind some kind of way, I am not for this. You know, she thinking he joking some kind of way. At first, she might have thought he was joking. She could have been eating something up there. Whatever. Even if it's nuts. Get what I'm saying? It don't have to be nothing big. He lost his cushions in minutes. He lost his cushions. And losing the cushions is a death card. Or when you just lose something. This would be her, the policeman. I don't know her name, so I have to say her or the policeman. She is dealing with her billfold. This is light green. And the social club would be her station. Follow me? Because he lost his cushions in minutes. But then she deal with the masses right here. This is an S show. It's time for her to act, because this would be her right here. Right? She gonna act right now. She rose to the occasion to act. Right? Because she see that he unresponsive now. She promising herself, I gotta act right now. Because it's like an S show. Because it's something she went through before. Or she met him before. Whatever it might have been, right? She deal with the masses of people who all she deal with. Try me if you dare. So she thinking or talking without nobody probably hearing her, talking out to herself or talking to him with him not alive. Don't you do this to me. Don't die on me. And you know how people be saying all kind of things. Because it's the try me if you dare. It's a threat card. He wasn't alive. Her talking though, right? She like talking or thinking in her mind. However it's flowing. He lost his cushions in minutes, like I said. And she lost hers because she feel like she got to do some explaining. Why did he die? Because you got to do some explaining. What happened? Because she dealing with her billfold, her paycheck at the social club. And the social club would be what? Her police station. So we have right here that I never would have known this about you. When was you going to tell me? So she thinking in her mind, let me see. She thinking in her mind, when was you going to tell me? But he already told her. He been told her. So I got to turn this card around. He been told her he couldn't breathe before he died. He told this lady he couldn't breathe. Right here is, you might as well say he died right here. His life was stolen right here. That means he lost his breath and everything. He wasn't getting his help. When was you going to tell me? I wouldn't have known this about you. He been telling her, so I got twisted around. He was telling you, miss, that he couldn't breathe, that he didn't feel good. And you did know this about him because he told you. It's on tape. You needed to play your part and call an ambulance when you first heard him say it, but you didn't. Love is like a lion to her cubs. You supposed to demonstrate some kind of love right there and care to try to get help for him, but you didn't. You supposed to treat his life like it was a cub, like it was your child's. You was responsible for his life right then. You was. You supposed to treat his life like it was your child you was trying to save. Call an ambulance like you would do for your own family member. Get what I'm saying? God said you should have been playing your part. You're an earth angel. You the earth angel person. And you supposed to be on God's side. Earth angel person, I think. You are. You're supposed to be demonstrating God out here. I am not selfish because I want a whole man. Be considerate of your partner. So I got to change it around because we're not dealing with love. Love as far as a partner, you and Mr. Boykins. That way, we got to take it another way. God's saying love for the human race. Get what I'm saying? Be considerate of your partner. So Mr. Boykin is inside there and is considered that he is your partner. He's somebody in that car with you. Partner. Get what I'm saying? He's somebody in there. So he considered your partner because he inside there. You might call him your prisoner, but God's saying your partner. Get what I'm saying? I'm not selfish because I want a whole man. So this would be you. You're not selfish. I'm not going to help him because he don't come up to standards or whatever you feel like. He a criminal or whatever you thinking about. He ain't a whole man. Get what I'm saying? You feel like there's something about him. He a criminal, first of all. So he don't come up to society standards or whatever. Okay? He is being appreciative of a house that was sufficient. And where he was, the house for him was the back of that cruiser. Because that's where he was. Or you was being appreciative of your police station. And it was sufficient. So we have something was touched and placed. So with Mr. Boykin, when the paramedics came, or whoever that was, something was placed on him. And he was being touched because CPR was being done on him. Because I didn't see you give him anything and do nothing to help him. See, because you're not on your path. Here's God. Right now, you need to get on your path, because here it is right here. Get on your path. You know, on your path. You was heartless. So this would be Mr. Boykin. But I got to change it around, because these are love cards, but I got to change them for any storyline. This would be Mr. Boykin. Let's go for a walk. And what this simply means for this storyline is, let's go to the hospital. Let's go for a walk. Get me out of here. Get what I'm saying? Care for me. Care for me, policewoman. Care for me. You don't have to hold him, but care for me. Let's go for a walk. Get me out of here. Take me somewhere to get help. She worked hard on it. On what? Not getting him help until the last minute, but he wasn't alive. So what she did, she had him boxed in that cruiser, because she was determined to take him to the police station. That's another box to sell. He was boxed in. He felt boxed in as far as his health, that he couldn't get no help. He couldn't get no doctor. He couldn't get her to respond the right way to get him help. And then he wound up in a box, and that's a casket, right? And he ended up in a room. And the room would be where the funeral was. She is insulting his intelligence. What she felt he might have been to her. Take it however. He wanted her to spend time. Help me. Because everything is about help. Because he said help him. If you look at that video, he's going to say, he's going to holler out, help me. Or he need help, or whatever he's saying. She wanted him to show her the back end. Where's this going at? What do you want? Anything like that. He's saying whatever he's saying. It's like somebody wants you to prove. It's like somebody wants you to prove. You might say, well, I want to spend some time with you. Well, they want you. Well, what do you want? Where's this going at? What do you want? What I'm getting from it? She wanted him to prove. So he's saying what he's saying the best he could. But it's nothing else he could do. So we have, she needed to go in. I got to turn this card around. She needed to go in first, head first. She needed to do that. She needed to go in head first like a sailor and move fast like a sailor and be the chairperson of her own life and get him help. But she didn't. What she did was stall, put off, and delay on both sides, God saying she did, as far as calling for help for him until the last minute when she felt her heart was on the line, because she got to explain what happened to him. So this is a romantic card. So let's see, how am I going to work this one, Lord? Because this is a romantic card. So instead of this word sex that you see right here, unless she had problems with her man, I don't know, but I'm going to try to turn it around a whole nother way. Get what I'm saying? I'm going to turn it around as she a female, right? Let me just try to turn it that way, right? We all couple for... So let me just turn it around. We all couple for more than just sex. So let's just turn it around. He a male and she a female. So this is a problem. This is a romantic card. I got a whole lot of love cards. I'm just turning them around. You don't know the love cards because I'm just turning them to something else to fit this storyline, right? So we're a couple for more than just sex. So she a woman, he a man. Right? So let's turn it this way. This is a problem in your sex life. This card on this side. So I'm going to change it all around, right? Unless there's something that was going on with her back then. But I don't care nothing about her romantic life, right? I'm not concerned about that. So if it's something true, it's true. But I don't care, right? So we have right here, I got to change this to his health. Follow me? So we are a couple for more than just being a man or a woman, right? You're a man and I'm a woman. He needed help, right? He needed some help with his health, right? So he was the weaker vessel right there. Get my drift. He a man, she a woman, right? But he needed her help. He was the weaker vessel right there. And he needed her help with his health. Follow me? So I got to turn the card around because of It's not a love storyline as far as man and woman. It's just a human being being considerate. Here's a caterpillar, Mr. Boykin. He wanted to bend forward on things, but wasn't too much he could do, right? So he's still coming up the same way. She put him in a sewer. And sewer mean when somebody look at you as less than, you ain't worthy, anything, lower than, whatever you want to call it. Anything you can name that go with the sewer. Get what I'm saying? She was that way. Because if he's saying he can't breathe, the next step is you're not alive. So she didn't care nothing about if he was going to be or not after a while, because she didn't call for help. She only called to save her hide at the end when she saw he wasn't breathing, because she was going to have to answer to that. He wanted her to call and get him some help and bring his health back to where it needed to be. Seamstress, that means when you mend something. You know, in the doctors, you know what the doctors do. They open up a wound, and what they do? They stitch it back, right? He wanted them to come together as oh goodness, I'm feeling a certain kind of way. It's making me feel a little sad right there. Oh my goodness. Ooh, I felt that. My goodness. He wanted them to come together some kind of way where she can be human. Get me some help. Please get me some help. Come down off your high horse of you a policeman and this and that and get me some help. Be human about this thing. She had the look of confidence. She had to pick one. And what she picked was herself. Instead of going to help him and getting him some help right away, when he said he couldn't breathe, she decided she's going to pick one, and that's pick herself and go back up there in the front and drive the car and ignore him, because she definitely heard him. If we heard him on a video, you know she heard him because she was in a car with him. But what? She wasn't going to bow down to him because he was a criminal as far as she is concerned. Anything else for? What is this? I mean, I don't think that's it though. What was that last card? I talk so much. What was the last card, Lord? Bear with me for a minute. It's just the being inconsiderate of somebody's life. Like, oh, they ain't nobody. They scum. You know, oh, they ain't nobody. They less than. They don't work. They a drug dealer or whatever people be thinking. Like, I don't care what nobody doing in their life. Whatever they may be doing and you think is wrong and they a criminal, that don't mean that they don't supposed to have their life and get medical attention. And that you got the right where you can just think you can just like ignore somebody that's in your custody. You got chained up and however you got them where they can't even get no help to save their own life. And then when it's all over, you want to try to save yours. Everybody want their life just like you want yours. Everybody want their relative like you want yours. You wouldn't want that done to your relative. Somebody just treat your relative like that. Or you feel your relative wouldn't get in trouble. But anybody could get in trouble. So let's just see a little bit more. So God talking to you, whoever you are, Miss Officer, because you're an Earth Angel person, and you are on the wrong side of the tracks because you're doing negative, and God want to demonstrate some love out of you because you ain't demonstrate love. You ain't demonstrate love. Oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't demonstrate love. You only did whatever once you saw that you was when he was like you was. That's when you decided to save your hide. You know you had to do something then. You jeopardized his life because you should have got him some help. Okay, the family had to go through the loss of Mr. Boykin, the person they love. I don't care nothing about people say, well, people shouldn't get in trouble. I don't care nothing about that. The thing is, you still, when you get in transport, you're supposed to get there in one piece. And while you're there, you're still supposed to be in one piece. The loss of a loved one. They lost their loved one that they love and cherish. They had to get around it and learn to live with it. Wasn't nothing they could do. So, Mr. Boykin didn't even fuss at you. I was looking at the video and I don't look at his fussing at all. Even when he was getting arrested, didn't even look like he was fussing or fighting or anything. So this is not his card. So this would be the relatives, I guess. So let me put this over here. So the relatives might decide to clap back and say something back to the police department when this happened to Mr. Boykin, right? Because I guess the police department might have thought they was done with the situation or whatever. I don't know. Trying to figure out how they're going to fix this thing while chilling. So some kind of way the family was going to show that, gee, wait a minute. I'm not going to, maybe I shouldn't say the police department. I got to focus with that one lady, whoever she is. Wait a minute. Okay, so she is trying to figure out how she is going to fix it. Let me just stick with the one lady, the police officer lady. Because she was trying to build her future. And she want her fortune as a police officer. And this was to be the place familiar, her police department, right? So it says right here, you're getting a new job. So she is wondering, I guess, if she is going to get fired from this. Because it say, oh, you getting a new job. Because she thought maybe they would make her absolute memory at her job that she would get fired. Or she might did quit or whatever she might have did. I don't know. But I feel she made Mr. Boykin an absolute memory myself because she delayed the medical care. So we have right here transporting of drug and infection. Drug, infection. Yeah, either one. So, transport of drug or infection. So, let me see something. So with Mr. Boyd, they ain't say anything about no drugs or anything like that. So some kind of way, he had, well, it says sickle cell, so I'm going to say infection, even though there ain't an infection out. It's just the blood, right? So I'm going to use that for that. Let's see for a minute. So we have that, police officer was going to be a workhorse. She is dealing with a Pied Piper that had a lot going on. Maybe her guy, I guess, right? Or her boss or whoever. Piper, dangerous love. Unless this would be Mr. Boykin. Let me see. Maybe this would be Mr. Boykin. Maybe it's Mr. Boykin. Let me float for a minute. A workhorse. She needed relaxation. She has a workhorse. This would be Mr. Boykin with whatever his blood condition is. She made him an absolute memory, or he became an absolute memory because she didn't get the help she needed to get him right away. She didn't know if she was going to lose her job or whatever at the police station right here. She's cheering on her fortune and her future. She's trying to figure out how she's going to fix it. because here's a family up here lost their loved one and they clapped back. That means they said something back about this situation. She's dealing with a dangerous love who had a lot going on. So she don't know Mr. Boykin. He not like a friend of hers or nothing, but she supposed to care for Mr. Boykin. That means she supposed to make sure he was safe getting to that police station. He had a lot going on. There was pros and cons. She didn't want any smoke. She didn't want any problems with him. So this is the nut card. So I'm going this taking it with her for a minute, right? So let me see for a minute more. Focus for a minute. He didn't want any smoke, but she didn't want any smoke. But she didn't want any smoke, I feel like. So the nut card, this going to go with Mr. Boykin, but so the nut card stands for different things. Unstable, mentally ill, or confused. It stands for different things. Drug addicted, drunk. It stands for different things. So Mr. Boykin at the time was confused, sick. Get what I'm saying? He had something wrong, right? He was sick, losing his breathing. Get what I'm saying? He was fading out. Get what I'm saying? He wasn't all the way like he usually would be because he was sick. Get what I'm saying? He was being genuine with her, telling her he didn't feel good or whatever he was saying. And he didn't want any smoke. He didn't want no trouble. He just wanted help. So we have right here, he is being deceived though by her, a person of service, because she didn't serve him no kind of way and help him no kind of way. So we have, she was power played, starving for power. But he had to make sure that she was an adult and don't just look like one, because it could deceive him because people are immature. So we have right here that is a mystery to all, that she had all these demons, because she had these demons here. She needed to confront her demons, right? If she think that was okay to not call for help right away for him, because she just wanted things to start to look good now, right? So we have, do you really like the way you are? And God saying to her, this police officer, do you like the way you are? So she is treating Mr. Boykin like he was nothing with this card right here. And he was being treated harshly by others, and it would be by her because she did not give him the help he needed. Whoops. So we have right here that Mr. Boykin family, if he had a wife, girlfriend, mother, father, sibling, child, whoever it is, somebody close, best friend, somebody close to him, lost him. Get what I'm saying? Because he died. And they have to heal themselves by coming forward. Love interest, whoever. Because it says some choice words right here, but he had some defeat. So the choice words could be any kind of word. So he wasn't fussing with the policeman. He just was talking, whatever he was saying. But it was defeat. He just didn't get anywhere. So we have right here, I must continue my life and function as a human. So we have, if Mr. Boykin had like a love interest or whatever, this person will have to continue her life, right? Because Mr. Boykin is no longer here, or the family, right? But if it's not them, this would be the officer, follow me? So the officer must function as a human, right? And not be dysfunctional, right? You'll have to refuse the past and let the past go, and not be and continue to live in the past and demonstrate yourself like the past. So if something happened before, some kind of way with her, with somebody before, stop putting everybody in the same category, because it was a S show, because it was a carbon copy of something she went through before. If she ain't seen him before, she might have had somebody in her cruiser who said that they was not feeling good or whatever it is. Stop putting the past with the present, because it's two different people or two different situations, right? Because God says that she measured and tested, and it was awful what was done to Mr. Boykin. Get what God just said. She measured and tested, and it was awful. Because she, the police officer, he telling her whatever, and she just fooling around. She trying to test him to see if he's telling the truth or whatever it is. She had to wait until he was lifeless before she believed anything. Look at this card. God, no. Can we do it now? This would be Mr. Boykin. Can we do it now? He want help now. I need help. We heard him say he needed help or help or whatever he said. So put this with him saying he need help. Can we do it now? He need help. Anything like that. Because it was going to cost him if he didn't get help. But it was going to cost the officer if he didn't get help. And it was a sure thing, God says, with this card, number 3 and number 2. So we got, oh my goodness, he was 23. That felt a certain way to me. Look at that. He was 23. Look at the numbers. He was 23, right? Young man. Young enough to be my nephew. Oh my goodness. My goodness, Lord. Boykin, I want to say it right. Mr. Boykin, I don't want to mess up your name. Wanted the officer, pick me. That means help me in this storyline. Pick me for your choice to help me, right? Because the officer, he gave the officer too much power, but I got to change it around. The officer had all the power. Get what I'm saying? Because he was under arrest, so he couldn't get out or nothing. Follow me? So we have right here that the best enable for him to, the best outcome for a better future for him was to have no more conquest and love or business. Or even her. For her. So we have right here that you are getting a new job. So some kind of way, either he was going to get a new job or she was going to get a new job after this happened. Because it's a sensitive issue. But she needed to tell him the truth. So she needed to tell the truth to who all she needed to tell the truth to. Her superior, the judge, the lawyer, Mr. Boykin. He talking to her. She should have told him the truth. Whatever it was to tell. Because he might have asked her something. And she might wasn't straightforward. I don't know. But he was, I can turn it around and say that Mr. Boykin was telling her the truth. And it was a sensitive issue. And he was telling her the truth. But she didn't look at it as a sensitive issue. She didn't look at his life as sensitive. He was the common denominator there. But she was the common denominator to get him help. She was his lifeline right there to help him. Because she stalled. God know this lady. She stalled. She didn't get no help. When she called, he was lifeless. You heard her say she pulled him out. She pulled him out because he was lifeless. Get what I'm saying? And that's when she started trying to press herself. She didn't get him no help. If you change your identity, it won't work with your twin. We go gay, trans, or clash. So Mr. Boykin, unless she got problems with her love life. I don't care about her love life, though. I'm trying to keep it flowing his way. So Mr. Boykin, right? The clashing would be, he wasn't fussing with her. The clashing would be when she saw that he was in a condition he was in and she couldn't do nothing about it. And I feel he is lifeless right here. So that's where the clash at. She probably inside her mind. Come back. Don't die. Whatever she might have been saying. You know how people are. But she didn't act like his life meant nothing all the time. Look at this. Look at God. This is my torn card, but I'm going to tell you what it says. She didn't play ball with his life in the best ways. She played ball with his life in the reckless ways. It's coming behind this card. She needed to make the necessary changes to not play with his life in the wrong ways. Because right here, I feel like he had told her already. And since he is telling her. And she sit there and she like, right here, he lifeless, I feel, with that card. And she talking out to him, but he don't hear her or talking in her mind. Come back. You know how people is. You see enough TV shows, people trying to make somebody come back to life and all this. But no, it's too late because you didn't play ball with his life in the best ways, God says. You played ball with his life in the reckless ways. You didn't make the necessary changes. You was a lecturer, somebody in charge, boisterous and talking, that he adored. So he didn't adore you, but he had to give respect to you because you was a cop. He was devastated by what was happening to him. He was helpless though, and that's what I hate when people helpless. I hate when people is helpless and they can't do nothing. It's just terrible to even think about. Let me not go there. I can't be ashamed of what is true, wondering who. This your card. You can't be ashamed of what is true. You was wondering who you was. You was trying to be that best policeman, trying to be who you was, or just you inside, not even being a policeman, just being who you are. And whoever you are, some kind of way you're not sensitive enough. You're not showing and demonstrating the love God wants you to show. You need work because you're an earth angel person and you need work. The family wasn't going to be resistant to hold you accountable because you are. You need to be held accountable. Because you treated his life like it was a piece of trash. He telling you he can't breathe and you acting like he talking about he just want his socks off. He was talking about his life right there. You was his lifeline right there to help him. And you just played around with it. So we got stop being sneaky about money. Okay, let's just flow. I got to change this card around. Let's see how I can work it in this storyline. Bear with me. Okay, to stop being sneaky. Don't do no lying about the situation. That would be the sneaky. Because it would affect your money. And you don't want to get fired. So don't be sneaky, God's saying. Right? About telling a story. Tell a story right. Also, what you was feeling like inside. If you felt like you thought he was lying, just say it, God's saying. Don't be sneaky. Just tell the truth. He might have been achy and it varied. It wasn't you. If he wasn't achy and it varied, it was just he was losing his breath and it varied. Get what I'm saying? He was feeling whatever he was feeling like. You was like a ticking time bomb at one point. Because he was like he was. What are you embarrassed about? So I feel like you was a ticking time bomb and he was feeling like he was feeling. So his anxiety, not losing his breath and all kind of stuff he was feeling like. He was feeling all kind of ways after a while. But you was the ticking time bomb because I guess you was kind of, after a while, you probably was tired of him complaining or whatever it is. Or you became that ticking time bomb when you saw he was not alive, when you pulled him out. When you pulled him out and you saw he wasn't alive, you became the ticking time bomb. You even got anxious yourself trying to bring him back to life. But you did more when he was not alive than when he was alive. You wouldn't do nothing for him while he was alive. You wouldn't even give him a bottle of water. And you probably had extra bottles up there. Can I be truthful? Look at this. Look at God. Stop lying to yourself. Because you heard me say the sneaky card. Stop lying to yourself. You know you was wrong. You know you was neglectful. You could be a Virgo, or you just was thinking business-minded. You're going to stay on your throne and be business-minded, and you ain't going to give her or care nothing about nothing. You don't care nothing about if he ain't breathing or nothing else. Your mission was to take him to the police station, dead or alive. And that was your mission. And you accomplished your mission. So I don't know if he was outside the police station or wherever you got out. I'm quite sure it probably was at the police station where you got out of that car probably. Go ahead, some fun. So I got to turn the card around. You need to stop lying to yourself. He not that bad off, or whatever your mind was thinking, or telling your story, saying whatever you saying, whatever story you threw out there to go with whatever. You was gonna, it say fun, right? But take it away from fun for a minute and say that you was gonna go and do some talking with your colleagues and complain about Mr. Boykin to try to bring him down. After he's dead, you're going to bring him down? Because I heard you on video talking all these charges. What are we talking? What was all that about? Nobody want to hear you talking about somebody who not alive or somebody fighting for their life or whatever's going on, and you sitting there talking down to them like, well, they wasn't nobody. You know, because that's what it sounds like to me out here and other people. Right? So you looked at him as simply the average Joe below. He nobody. But God says everybody's special. Nobody's better than nobody in this world, miss. Nobody. Everybody equal. I don't care if you're a cop. I don't care if you're a lawyer. I don't care if you're the king of England. I don't care who you are. Everybody the same, miss. Everybody. So we have right here that some kind of way, some green, something was green and flowery, somebody's clothing, some kind of trees, or something was somewhere, or inside a police station, inside your house, or whatever, flowers, or whatever this is, clothing, curtains, whatever this is, I don't know. You're going to be your own cheerleader. But he was going to be his own cheerleader in the back, telling you, talking as loud as he could talk at the time to let you know that he was not well. God says, knowing he or she matters not, you should prosecute. But Mr. Boykin couldn't prosecute because he was killed. I mean, he wasn't killed. Let me change it around. He died, right? So let me change it. He died from neglect. I can say that. He died from neglect. God says that he was the star. And it don't matter if you're a cop or not, because I got to change it. Let me just change it. It matters not that you are a cop, right? He was the star in the light, right? So let me change it around for you. Knowing him didn't matter to you. If you knew him or not, you didn't give a, you didn't care. You felt you was the star in the light. See, I just changed it around, right? So you heard what I said, right? So you was going to take him in to prosecute him because you're taking him to jail. Follow me? And you didn't care if you knew him or not. You felt you was a star because you was a police officer. Get what I'm saying? Because you felt he did wrong. We're going to turn it around. But it got to go to his family because he's not alive. His family had to prosecute against you because God says that Mr. Boykin is the star and the light. And if you was a policeman, it don't matter. That's what God says. God said it don't matter. God don't care who you are. You nobody special to God. Right? Everybody is equal on this earth. Mr. Boykin needed tenderness and sensitivity that you didn't give him at the time. So we have so these are love cards. So you might have been going out some kind of way with a love interest or whatever. So let me just try to turn this around instead of I'm trying to keep it focused on. Let's flow. I got to turn this card around. You didn't want to be used by Mr. Boykin, right? I hope I'm saying it right, Mr. Boykin. Please say I'm saying your name right. If I'm saying your name wrong this whole time, it's going to be bad. Let me just take a peek. Oh, shit. Please don't let me be saying your name wrong this whole storyline. Forgive me. Because I know it's Darren, but I just can't be calling you by your first name. Let's just see. Boykin. Okay. I got Mr. Boykin. Okay, let's just see. So we have right here, let me go back to this card again, because these are love cards too, so I got to turn the love cards and change them up for the storyline. So you show some kind of care somewhat, I guess, a little bit, but you didn't want to be used by Mr. Boykin. You didn't want him to use you and take advantage and try to pull a fast one on you. Because you told him he'd get some water when you get to the station. So you ain't put a whole lot of care in, but you put a little bit in when you said, well, I'll give you some when you get to the station, or you can get some when you get to the station. So this could be just your personal life right here. I'm trying to work this one here. Let's see. My stomach growling, I'm sorry. You didn't want Mr. Boykin to play with you. You just wanted to take him where you wanted to take him at. You didn't want to be used by him because he was asking for what he was asking for, water. Oh, shucks. I didn't shuffle the whole time, did I? Okay. You didn't want to be used, taken advantage of. So we had right here, either he had brown eyes or you. And he said, I can't do it. I can't. Anything about I can, I won't, I can't. So we're going to put this with Mr. Boykin. I heard him say with my own ears, looking at the video. He said he can't breathe, something about his breathing. I heard him with my own ears, and he wanted water. I heard him. And he said help too. I heard that. So this would be his card. So this would be your card too if you didn't give him any water. Wait till you go to the station. Because you might have had water in your car up front. But maybe you couldn't take a chance and give him any water because you didn't want nothing to happen to him with nobody around to witness anything. So you didn't want to give him no water. You wanted to make sure you don't do anything or give him anything in case something go wrong. You didn't want to be blamed. So you might have had water up front. You might have had water because it's hard to believe you don't have a extra bottle of water when you're traveling, riding in a car all day. He had brown eyes with you. So you was protected. You was trying to keep yourself protected. But you was overprotective with Mr. Boykin. So overprotective where you wouldn't even get him the help he needed. You wanted to make sure he stays secure and just stay still where you wanted him at. You didn't want nothing to come in the way. You just wanted to focus on your journey, and that was to take him in. You really didn't want to hear a bunch of his complaints. You didn't want all that. You probably only got out of the truck, out of that because he was hollering or whatever he was saying. So we got another a protection card. So we got protection 3 times in a row. Protection, protected, and protect again. So get help for your addiction. So Mr. Boykin needed help because he had a breathing problem and he had sickle cell, it says on the telephone. So he needed help for his breathing, for his sickle cell, right? And we're going to use the word addiction with something that's consistent and keep happening. on something that's hooked to him. Get what I'm saying? Because sickle cell is hooked to you. My nephew had that. Used to go in the hospital different times and everything. It's hooked, right? So we're going to use that as sickle cell. Follow me? He wanted help for his health. Follow me? He needed to breathe. He needed to be protected. He needed help. So we have right here, what is your number? And you're going to accept it. So some kind of way, you made a phone call to, so we're going to take this as what your number is. You looking in your cell phone, in your mind. Wait a minute. What is the number? 911, right? That's the number you dialed. And you're going to accept it. Accept what? Calling 911. You decided to call 911. He wasn't alive. See, God talking to you, miss. You got changed. Did what Mr. Boykin did do to you, and that is just be a person you consider a criminal, committed whatever act he committed, whatever it was. Do that add up to what you did to him? Did you hear what I said? Did the actions of Mr. Boykin equal what you did to him? And that is you neglected him medical care. And God says with this card, always with somebody, it was not deserved. The person didn't deserve it. Get what I'm saying? If somebody steals somebody's car, do that mean somebody's supposed to kill somebody? No, it's not equal. You can buy another car. Just tell the person to pay for your car or get them locked up. Get what I'm saying? It is obvious. You wasn't going to be scared of nothing. So he back there yelling, saying he need help or he not breathing or whatever, and you wasn't even going to be scared about it. You wasn't even worrying about it. But then when you went back there that last time, maybe to get him out or whatever you went back there for, that's when life hits you. You start being, you start being scared of something then because you feel like your heart was on the line. It's obvious. Your heart on the line. You got to answer to somebody. You didn't answer to him. You might have went back there, but you really didn't answer him because you didn't respect him enough to give him what he was asking you for, right? So we have right here that you worked hard and showing in your actions that you didn't care anything about Mr. Boykin. There's a lot of work got to be done on you. God want to work on you because you're an earth angel person. You on the wrong side of the tracks, first of all, because you're a police officer. And you aren't supposed to be a police officer, not being an earth angel person. Now, if you're a police officer and you sitting in the office some kind of way, it can fly, but not being out on the streets or whatever. Because God wants you to have some kind of care and love, and you don't have it. Not like God wants you to have. So we need a little bit more. You wanted to wrap it up every time and just be finished with all of this stuff. Here, this right here. God said you was cold-blooded. He was cold-blooded. It was time to act. Life was like a movie. You saw he wasn't alive. Here, you thinking that Mr. Boykin is somebody who take pills, but Mr. Boykin had some kind of illness, so I don't know if he, take pills or whatever, right? So this could go with him, his illness, follow me? Or you might have thought like that about him. I don't know. Get what I'm saying? Okay. Let's just flow. Okay, let's just flow. I don't care what you thought about him. You should have got him the help he needed. I don't care. Nobody has time for nobody thinking all kind of this and that and about them when it comes down to somebody's life on the line. You can think all that later. Just save the person's life, then you can think all that mess later. People don't value people's lives like they should, and it's a shame because people, you can't bring somebody's life back, somebody's loved one's life back. And I don't want to hear nobody saying, I think my comments closed. If I can open up my darn comments, I don't want to hear nobody sitting talking about he shouldn't have got in trouble. I don't want to hear that stupid stuff. Don't tell me nothing about he shouldn't have got in trouble. That wouldn't have happened because people always saying that. And which I know when people be in certain situations, they be part of whatever because they wherever. Even if you just on a bus stop and you don't know something going to happen and a shootout happen, you put yourself at the bus stop, but you ain't know nothing was going to happen. So I don't want to hear nothing about that. You ain't not going to take away from the negligence of somebody else who helped cause something to happen. Because people good at saying, well, if he shouldn't have been in trouble, he shouldn't have been doing whatever, he wouldn't have this and that. I don't want to hear that. Put the blame where it belongs. She should have got the help when he said he needed help. Period. When somebody said he can't breathe and they barely can breathe and you seeing it, what are you waiting for? For him to pass out in front of you? I don't want to hear that nonsense. I don't want to hear it. Okay, let's see. This is going to be the last one. You on the wrong side of the tracks. You got to get on the right side because you on the wrong side. Unless you be a police officer that'll sit inside. But really, you on the wrong side because really, God don't want you to be a police officer. You might want it to be for whatever reasons. God wants you to demonstrate some kind of love because you didn't have any compassion for Mr. And you probably had some water right in the front. I keep on. This is the third time I said that. Mr. Boykin, right here, that needed medication, might took medication, had a sickness or whatever's going on. You was cold-blooded because you was the center of attention. You was cold-blooded. You might be the Leo sign. You might be a fire sign person, earth sign person. Let's see. I don't see no signs for you. Okay. Life was like a movie. That's when you decide you want to move and do something when you saw he was not breathing. Because you was like a monster to him. You was real corny. Now you're trying to help him. When he was alive, you weren't trying to do anything but just have a bunch of words but just didn't mean nothing. Fell on deaf ears. It was crystal clear hope once you went to pull him out because he wasn't alive. Don't be shoving your problems. Then you had to kind of come up with some kind of stuff to say to everybody, trying to shelve your problems and excuses on what happened. It's flattering. So what? So Mr. It could be you or it could be Mr. Boykin. He didn't have skin cancer or anything like that or skin disease, but he definitely had sickle cell. Follow me? That's what it says on the thing. Computer. Your story is flimsy. He went through torment trying to just get some help. Okay, so we have living a secret life. How we want to go floating on living a secret life. Ye might be living some kind of secret life, whatever that is. Let's just flow. That story, there's so many stories I hear that I don't like, so many. But it jumped out at me because I usually don't look at videos of police shootings. I never look at those kind of things unless it pop up and it wind up being in my face. But me to look at anything like that, no, I don't want to see that kind of disgusting stuff. Right, but that right there, I saw the guy sitting down in the thing and saw the title. And then that just got to me. Because I don't like when people don't have show compassion. You aim high enough and just enough. Because just focus on your job, because you're letting off your sexual tendencies. Because remember, you have to be strong, because you can't be super soft when you're being a police officer as a female. You can't be acting like you are so delicate and all, because you can get ran all over. You need to clear your mind up. He was groggy. He was feeling all kind of ways. He was Mr. Boykin. But you wanted to plant your vision. Your vision was to get him to the police station. But his vision might have been going out. He might have felt like he was going downhill. Follow me? Downsizing and not breathing. And he had fear drops. He felt a certain kind of way. So these are love cards, some of them, right? So when you hear me say something, it's not going to be exactly what the cards say, because I got to make it match with his storyline. Now, I'm going to make this his eyes. Just flow with me a little bit. But this really is a cheating card, but let me just take this card. Closing the blinds to other females. So his eyes was closed. He closed his eyes. Follow me? The blinds, his eyes, right? To the female, because she was a female. So his eyes wound up getting closed, right? To any kind of love from the female, the cop, her, right? Before that, he had fear drops, follow me? Downsizing, meaning his life was slipping away in this storyline, follow me? So we have right here that planting his vision. So his vision was going out to, he was groggy or whatever he's feeling like, because he was dealing with somebody who was letting off the sexual tendencies, trying to be strong, trying to be dominant, trying to be a police officer, because that's what she was. She needed to clear her mind up. Now you can hear what I just said with that, right? So let's just flow. Because she wasn't going to let her emotions stop her from going to the place she was going to, and that was the police station. So she wasn't going to let his emotions stop her. I'm going where I'm going, and I don't care if he's howling back there, yelling back there. I don't care. I'm going. Get what I'm saying? She had a lack of love. Some type of information is going to show that she had a lack of love for Mr. Boykin. Opportunity struck some kind of way, and she got ready to try to blame Mr. Boykin. Right? And she did, because on tape, I heard that lady saying, well, I don't know what all she said. Well, he stole this and that and all. So opportunity struck for her to blame him for him dying. You might as well say she was doing. She wouldn't just wrap it on up. Just wrap it up. Blame him for whatever that happened, and just to get this over with, right? Pray about that thing and just be over with. She needed to be simply honest, right? Because Mr. Boykin family feel like he light up their lives. Because she didn't know him. So let's just flow. This was up, it's amazing. This was up top 2 different times, and I wouldn't take it, and I shuffled, and God still brought it back like to brass love. I want that card. You trying to make it go away. That's the same card. I might as well just go ahead and say it. In that one is amazing. Okay, she hooked herself on and ran from any problems. It is easy to leave things to others and just escape. So let's flow right here. So Mr. Boykin hooked himself on to whatever it was, and he ran from his problem. So he's running from the cops. We know that. It is easy to leave things to others and escape, right? And he was running, trying to escape. We know that, but we got to turn it around to the police officer. She hooked herself onto the police department and ran from her problems, whatever her life was like before she joined. It is easy to leave things to others and just escape. So she was saying whatever she was saying, to the other police officers to escape her neglect, to get the focus off of her. Something was brought from the store some kind of way. He might have brought, or something she might have brought. And it was him sitting down. Okay, so I hit the pause. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's see. Where were we? Okay, let's just go. Do I shuffle, Lord? Okay, so this card right here is that the police officer felt like he was going to pay for his actions. And he was, because he was going to jail. Okay, so acting like this is love. So the police feel like she is going to make him pay for his actions by taking him to jail, but not really giving him a bunch of support like he needed. But God says she is acting like it's love, acting like it's care, but it wasn't. So she wanted to supersize herself and be the Kingster and move up in her department, or she looked at him as somebody who do sell drugs or anything like that, one way or the other. Okay, so she felt like she worked on it enough. Can I believe him? I worked on it enough. I'm not gonna keep going back there to check on him. Can I believe him that he really sick or anything like that? So it was, she had charred feelings after a while. That means when they burnt up and you just don't want to be bothered no more. So some kind of way she just didn't go back there no more until whenever she went. Get what I'm saying? She just was tired. She wasn't going no more until her last stop or whatever she did. Because she made a gesture, or he made a gesture, and she is just tired of his buffoonery, because she looked at it as buffoonery. But then it was a crystal layer hoop for him. Get what it's saying? He was dead at this card right here. She felt he was shelving his problems. She didn't want to keep hearing about his problems or whatever was going on. She is a monster, and she is corny. Follow me to him. It was showtime. Look at the cards. Look how God bring the cards out. It was showtime. And life was like a movie. That meant she had to step into action and do something to try to save him. Because she looked at him as a pill pusher. Get what I'm saying? She looked at him as a pill pusher. He might have had something in his pocket or whatever it was. I don't know. But we got the pill pusher card. Right? She is cold-blooded, though. Center of attention. She is going to be the center of attention because she was the officer. Follow me? Her story was flimsy. Things was flimsy. She did things flimsy because she didn't get him the help. I don't care if he had pills, if he didn't have pills. I don't really care what he had. The thing is, you get him the help he needs. It was torment. He went through torment inside that car. So we're going to say that he had a disease. Sickle cell, right? So we got wanting education and jobs and fairness. So this is an eating place, right? So this is like a restaurant or anything like that. So she might, so this could be at her police precinct, even though this is not their card. Okay. She want equalness in jobs and fairness, so she want to be treated right. I guess some kind of way. Maybe she talking at the lunchroom, what you call it, the break room at the police station, or she got an answer to somebody else as far as the police station, as far as what happened to him, internal affairs or whoever, somebody maybe. I don't know with that one. It's flattering. So what? Is this not the eating card? The eating card is the other one. This is like the restaurant or whatever. Why did my mother give me up? I wonder who I look like. So for Mr. Boykin, why did my mother give me up? Who do I look like, or who do I act like? Or this police officer. Or we're going to take it another way too. Ma, don't give up. Don't give up on getting justice for me. I'll turn it that way, okay? So something helped him up. Pinpointed the action that helped him up. And that is not getting the help he deserved. So that's what happened. But as far as the police officer, she was pinpointing the action that was holding her up, and it was him keep on calling her back there or making her come back there, anything like that. So we have right here, she's going to focus on her journey, and her journey was to get him to the police station. So being adopted, him or her, somebody, or we can take it with Mr. Boykin, being adopted. For Mr. Boykin, if he wasn't in real life for real, this means that the police had him. That means he was adopted. That means they was controlling him like they was his parents. Get my drift? Like children in school, the teachers they are adopted. They are controlled by the principals and the teachers. When you in police custody, they like your parents. They controlling and dominating, and they have you custody. Get what I'm saying? So he was in this lady's custody. This officer, her, and at this time period, he wanted his family. He wasn't getting no love right here, no kind of way, inside that truck or whatever he was in. He wanted his family right here. This is no joke call. He wanted his family. Because your family, most people family love them, and he wanted his family. If he could just see his family again right here with this card, he wanted his family. Well, finding my parents even matter. Because he felt helpless right here. I got the God card. They keep on sitting there. I haven't taken it out. Did he know as far as God? Do we know God because he was getting ready to leave here? Do he really believe what he hear as far as God? Or as far as this officer saying whatever she's saying? She might have said whatever she said, she's going to get help and she wasn't going to do it or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to end it. She needed to learn all the lessons needed to express her spirituality, because you need love. You need love. God wants you work on. So Mr. Boykin was gift seeking. He wanted help. Gift seeking. He wanted help. But you needed to filter it. Or you needed to filter it. Or you wanted him to filter it. You got to acknowledge your wrongs, because you was wrong. You was neglectful. You was wrong, miss. Acknowledge your wrongs and not expect it from Mr. Boykin. God telling you, because you was wrong. You neglected him big time. Accept what you can't change, and you can't change and bring Mr. Boykin back. So you looked at Mr. Boykin as he was a dusty. He ain't had nothing going on here, dusty. He didn't come up to par like whatever you thought, because you was arresting him for whatever. So he was a dusty to you. He wasn't important. He don't come up to par. So I don't care if he didn't come up to par or not. His life mattered. Something was extraordinary. And you was going to send it back to the sender. So he asking for help or whatever he's saying, and you not helping him. So you send it back to the sender. Because you looked at him a certain kind of way. He gift seeking, asking for help and all. We got 15, 15. You could be 30, 15 and 15. Could be 51. I don't know what these numbers for. 31. Something could be 13. Go ahead. He is, I don't know. Is that one? Let's just flow. Could be an Aquarius, could have a child Aquarius. He could be an Aquarius. Could know somebody Aquarius. So we have right here this one. You know you must respect Mr. Boykin unless you had some partner, a real police partner that needed to respect you at work that you ain't getting respect from. The power stays with the wife, not with the ex. So you might have some kind of love life problems going on. Let me just flow a little bit. Power that stays with the wife, not with the ex. This might be you and some love life partner. Let's see. Well, you felt like the power stayed with you, not with Mr. Boykin, because you was the one in control. So you was jerking him around by not getting him the help he needed. You could be an Aquarius, might know somebody Aquarius, have an Aquarius son, or somebody you know have an Aquarius son, or he was, or somebody he know, or anything like that. Or air sign person, or act like an Aquarius that you proud of, or somebody proud of you. Because it says right here that blaming Mr. Boykin is not going to work. It won't help, God says. Because God said you could have stopped it. Okay? You could have made a change there, a difference. But you was floating on in life, secret life, with whatever your stuff going on. Because if whoever you are, if you got somebody who mixed up with somebody else, look what the card said. If you had something going on with your private life, don't have to be, but we got the secret life here. You got some kind of something going on. Right, so we have right here that being an extension to the children. You got children, somebody you know got children, or whatever's going on with your children. You're going to be the extension to keep your children safe, or somebody, you or Mr. Boykin. If he had children, he is going to be the extension to his children, or whatever's going on here. Okay, here is the, I thought I had this card already, no? I thought I said it already. Place a stone on a bench and make a wish. Eat something healthy and make it your middle name. Okay, I'm trying to end it. So Mr. Boykin was in the back of that cruiser and on a bench or whatever they sit on back then. And he probably was saying a prayer. He wanted help. And he needed to eat something healthy. He needed something. So he said he wanted water. We know that all of us heard it, but he couldn't even get water. And that's what get on my nerves when I hear about somebody won't even give people something as simple as water. Water is life. You can't get a cup of water from somebody, that's bad. If things are written up in the policies where you can't get water, you can't get food, you can't do this, you can't do that, that means a person can die in the process. Something need to be changed. So let me just see if there's a little bit more. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You would have gave some loving care like you should have. So we got secret again. You got some kind of secret going on where you had something going on then. Really care about what, I don't care nothing about what your secret, nothing you had. That's all I care about is you didn't show the love you should have with Mr. Boykin. Okay, you need to be appreciative of your mother, or he was appreciative of his mother. Okay? So we have right here that maybe you, if he stole something, right, I'm going to take it that way. If he stole something, you were saying it was his fault. Unless something happened to you some kind of way as a woman. Get what the cards say, right, without me saying it. Okay? You wanted him to be chained to you like a magnet. So you had the handcuffs on him. You was laser focused on picking on him because you chased him down. So we have right here that hugging you, comfort is key. So you wanted to hold on to him tightly and not let him go because he was a criminal as far as you was concerned. So cry sometimes, God says that is good for the heart. So Mr. Boykin might have did some crying. We don't really know exactly. Or God telling you to have some kind of sensitivity, maybe on a Sunday or a Thursday. Okay, you chose and you chanced it not to give him any help when he first complained. Always safe here, promising a safe, promise a stable home life. I guess you want your personal life. I guess it might have been back then or now. Okay, no more watering things down because you needed to help Mr. Boykin and you didn't. Instead, God said you needed to instill some tenderness back then. Was Mr. Boykin safe back there? You promised and you supposed to helped him have a stable ride in that cruiser, but you didn't. Are we safe there? No, he wasn't safe with you. You needed to instill some tenderness, and you didn't. Okay, I'm trying to end it. I see racist card. Let's just flow a little bit. We got 1881. Okay, you're going to be moving to rougher matters because he died. So you gave him his flowers. Here's your flowers. Look at this card. Look what God says. Look at all that I said and look what it is. Because you made the choice right here. Look right here. You're moving to rougher matters. Get what God just said. We got number 8, number 1. Something could have happened August the 1st, January, or whatever this is. God talking about the numbers. You might have a child, 1-year-old, 8-year-old, or whatever's going on with those numbers. Look what came behind it. You gave him his flowers. Here's your flowers. Get what this card is saying with the storyline. Right? Because you captured an opportunity at the lighthouse. So I'm going to turn it around. You chanced it and you chose to put Mr. Boykin in that cruiser. Are we safe here? He wondered, I guess, thinking he gonna be safe in there. But your responsibility was to promise him a safe trip to transportation to the jail. You supposed to secure his life. You supposed to instill a little tenderness in what you didn't. No more watering things down because you was watering things down like him saying he couldn't breathe was nothing. So that made it where you was moving to rougher matters, God says, right? And here it is right here. You gave him his flowers because you watered his situation down. He is. So here we go with this next card. He captured an opportunity at the lighthouse. And for him, it had to be the hospital because he died. Right? Because you gave him his flowers and he died, right? He went to the hospital because that's where they took him, to the morgue or wherever they took him, right? So we have right here something seeping through as far as you, because you had a little racist going on with you. Wherever it was in you, it might be not on top, but it's in you. Because it's a racist card. Black is beautiful though. I'm letting you know, right? You might like music or he like music, right? Was he really worth it? If you was talking to some man or had man problems or whatever, God said, was he worth it? Because you need to book an appointment. Or somebody at your job or whoever that's giving you a hard time. Was he worth it? Whoever it is. Right? But I'm going to turn this card around. You didn't think Mr. Boykin was worth it. Booking an appointment. Calling a hospital. Calling 911. You wanted to fix what was on your plate and just throw away the scraps. So he said whatever he said and you just didn't want to hold on to that. You just wanted to just get to the station. You didn't want to hear all this and that. You didn't want to keep running back there to him or whatever. He wanted a meal done. Loyal. He wanted you to be loyal and help him. Okay, a time was mentioned and it was checked. And the time was mentioned and checked. Pretty much when you called some kind of way, you probably wrote that down in your report. Well, I called this time, whatever you said, whatever it was, sometime, whatever day. It don't have to be a Saturday or Monday. But it says limits were sky high for you as far as something in the time was set. Maybe appointment, maybe whatever, I don't know. Okay, just dealing with a foreigner, and he would be considered a foreigner in a beautiful state, so you in the state of Texas. We got number 7, could have a child 7, could be dealing with something 7, something could happen in July, something might have happened in July back then or whatever this is. You had to stop thinking that, yeah, you had to stop thinking that you knew more. Because he telling you he couldn't breathe and everything he telling you, but you felt you knew more. So you seek revenge on a Negro. And here you're a cop right here. Here you are. Look at your card. You seek revenge on a Negro. Get what it's saying? That means you wasn't going back there because you felt you knew more. You always going to keep running back there, him complaining or whatever. You was trying to get to the police station. You didn't want to keep being stopped. Get what I'm saying? Here you are. You did pat him down or whatever before you put him in that car. We already know. But you are the blue-eyed brother, a cop. Follow me? You needed to instill some sensitiveness. God keep telling you, and emotions that you did not give. But you feel like nobody perfect. Right? But some guy you was dealing with wasn't for you, right? Or we got to put this with Mr. Boykin, right? You felt like he wasn't for you. That simply means you just felt like he ain't nobody I would indulge with. He ain't really no friend of mine or whatever you feeling like, because you ain't put your emotions in or nothing. You didn't see his worth. It say you weren't here, but I got to take it another way because I got to I'm dealing with Mr. Boykin. You didn't see Mr. Boykin's worth and his ambition. Get what I'm saying? It is obvious that you know something. And not just you. He knew. He saw that you wasn't treating him right in his family. Because he was all in his feelings trying to express to you that he needed help. And he needed for you to go get what? Some help. Look at God ending it. Look at God ending it at. Mr. Boykin was asking for help. And look what God ended it. Help is coming. He wanted help to come. That's all you had to do was call 911 when he first was saying whatever, and they could have been there and they might could have hooked something to him. But you refused because God said your emotions and all kind of stuff is screwed up with you. And you got a little bit of racial abuse in you too. I don't see a bunch of racial cards. It's the only one I see that's racial in your storyline. So you got a little something in you as far as black people. And oh yeah, and then there's another one. Revenge a Negro. He's a Negro. So you got 2 of them. He is God right here. You needed to stop thinking Mr. Boykin deserved abuse. Because he was this. Follow me? Because God called it abuse. Neglect. You thought he wasn't worthy. Not worthy. I'm not going to keep running back there to him. You made him an ex. You sure didn't make him an ex. Because when you didn't go get the help he needed, his life was gone. You feel nobody perfect. Right? You feel nobody perfect as far as the situation with you, but you feel he's supposed to be perfect because remember you were saying all kind of stuff about charges or whatever he did wrong, but you feel like nobody perfect, right? As far as your life, as far as you not making the best decisions. He wanted help to be coming, and you would have been the help to help him to get to somebody, but you didn't do it. I'm ending it on this. So this is for Mr. Boykin storyline as far as this officer who was dealing with Mr. Boykin. Because I saw this story today and it just pushed me to come down here. And I came down here to do this. Mr. Boykin, young man, had a lot of life to live. Life was treated like it wasn't nothing because of people who got all kind of set in their ways where they just feel like they in control of whatever's going on here, or rules or whatever it is that make them not human. I told a man one time back then, it's been a long time ago, it was a man, I don't know, he was a rental property man. I told him one time, this is how I felt though. I told him, if you was laying on the ground, if something was to happen, whatever, and he was laying on the ground and he needed help, life-threatening help, and I was on the other side of the street walking down the street, and I saw him over there, it would be my decision to go over there and help him or not, right? If I thought about how he treated me on a normal basis and mistreated me and treated me how he was treating me, being mean and everything, every time I went in the office, if I thought about that and say, I'm not going to go over there and help him, or would I be a different kind of person, a God-like person to go over there and help him? It would be my choice, though, what I decided to do. What I'm saying all this to say is you got to treat people the way you want to be treated. You don't want people mistreating you and neglecting you. And if you need help, you want somebody to help you. I don't know nobody that don't want to be helped, when they in distress and things like that. And you was the only person to help him. And you just watered things down and made it seem like his calls for help and his pain or whatever he was going through was nothing. Because you feel like, oh, nobody perfect. Well, it just happened. People talk nonchalant until things are on the other foot. And then they want everybody to feel like, understand their thoughts. But it don't work like that. It don't work like that. Everybody is equal. I don't know what it's going to take for people to understand everybody is equal. Just because you got things, that don't make you better than nobody. Because you got things. Because you got a title, it don't make you no better than nobody else. You think it do, it don't. Last I checked, everybody look the same that I look at. They got 2 eyes like me. They got legs like me if they have legs. They got feet. They got hands. They got a voice. So nobody is no different than nobody else. Nobody's better than nobody on this earth. And you had your feelings and thoughts or whatever that you had, and that wasn't good. Because you jeopardized his life. And it's sad. So he played a part in what happened to him. That's true. Because I got a card to say that. And that is just that he was running from the law or whatever was going on there. Okay then. Alright. But as far as him getting in the car and all, and him asking for help and all when he is in medical distress, he don't play a part in that. That officer supposed to did what she supposed to did. Her duty to protect and serve. I thought they say, well, is that what it is? Do you supposed to protect and serve? Protect and serve? She's supposed to guide him to that police station in one piece. She decided, I'm going to get him there dead or alive. So she decided she was going to get him there however. And she didn't look back anymore until she went back to check and saw he wasn't. And then that's when she panicked and she started to make phone calls. She didn't make any calls before she pulled them out. When you hear on there, she say she pulled them out and she did CPR, whatever she said. That's because before then she ain't go back no more. He been complaining and telling her whatever. And she was tired of going back there, answering them, watering it down or whatever she was doing. And then she panicked because her heart was on the line. Now all of a sudden you're going to call 911 when the person not alive. Come on. Right here, yeah. Yeah, you calling then. You ain't had good work ethics at first, but you calling then because your heart was on the line. Okay, this is the bracelet one. So this is a storyline reading. storyline reading for I don't know the officer's name, but she's a female officer. I heard her talking, and I saw her a little bit on the video. So this is that encounter right there that was on video, as far as Mr. Boykin and whoever this officer is that didn't get him help. He wasn't fighting and doing all kind of fussing or nothing to her. I don't know. People just don't realize how precious life is. And I just want people to realize how precious life is. Life is not worth some car. She busy pointing out he was in trouble for this, that, and whatever. He laying over there not alive, and she just want to point out and make him look bad laying on the floor. He already don't have his life because you was neglectful. And then you want to sit there and say all this different stuff to make people just look at him as the bad person, when really they need to look at you because you was neglectful. Period. Okay. This is the brass love one. Peace to the family. This happened 2019, I see, but I'm just seeing it today going down my feed. He's a young man. He had lots of life to live, and I just wish that his life was spared and he still was here, but he just was in the wrong hands because he had a police officer that didn't have no kind of care for him. And we got to instill some kind of care. And stop being so this and so that where you don't have no kind of heart for people. This is the brass love one.